and less healthy they are getting. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Noah Chavez.
And I'm Brooke Chow. Thank you for joining us. Today we are focusing on food insecurity and the many ways our community is working to help people.
We'll be looking at meal portions, water allocations, and how the community is lifting up businesses to keep people fed.
California farmers produce nearly half of the nation's fruit and vegetables, yet 1 in 5 Californians struggle with food insecurity. The Central California Food Bank in Fresno is a lifeline to thousands of people who need help putting food on their table. Feeding thousands of people in Fresno would not be possible without community members volunteering. A local Fresno mother volunteered her young daughters to learn the importance of giving back to the community. The food bank relies on volunteers like these to help feed thousands of local families each week.
We have over 6,000 volunteers throughout the year, and without them, our staff just wouldn't be able to get the items out or even make it in time efficiently for feeding all the 350,000 individuals each month.
Over 300,000 people have been fed just this past month by the Central California Food Bank. These numbers have nearly doubled since before the pandemic. 25% of families seeking help from the food bank are here for the first time and are struggling to provide food for their families. With the holidays already here, volunteers are working around the clock, packing holiday food boxes so that members of our community do not have to worry about whether or not they will have a Thanksgiving dinner. We are here packaging 800 boxes for the holidays, and the Central California Food Bank will be giving out 20,000 of these boxes to local families. Although half of the nation's fruits and vegetables come from right here in the Central Valley, the access to these foods are hard to come by. The price of fresh produce has increased, and for many of these farmers, their jobs are seasonal. They are just not making enough money to keep what they grow.
Fresno actually has the 3rd worst food hardship rate in the nation, and about 1 in 4 people in the Fresno area struggle with hunger on a daily basis.
25% of families in Fresno do not have the luxury to get to choose what they're going to eat for dinner. Instead, it's if they get to eat dinner. Over 54 million pounds of food was distributed this past year, and the food bank hopes to maintain those numbers and feed local families during the holidays. The Central California Food Bank in Fresno has over 200 partners like churches, neighborhoods, and community centers, including the Bulldog Pantry right across the street from Fresno State, where people can get food, no questions asked.
With the new Resnick Student Union getting closer to completion, students have a unique opportunity to be involved in its planning and decorating. Over at the current Student Union, students are getting a chance to pick out furniture and even choose colors for the new Resnick building. From couches and chairs to stools and footrests, Fresno State students will decide the new look of our new facility.
As you can see, between what's here now and what's behind us being showcased, there are slight differences. Some things will be the same, but like you said, lots of furniture and styles will be slightly varied.
Voting ends at the end of the week, so be sure to share your opinions on what furniture you want to relax on.
About 80% of the world's almonds come from right here in California, but this crop uses a lot of water, and with water being scarce, California is looking for ways to keep it flowing to farmers. Ana Cruz Lopez shows us what they're doing.
Farmers like Joe Del Bosque had to cut back on the amount of water his almond trees receive.
This year we had to cut back on the applications of our almonds. We probably gave our almonds about maybe 2/3 of what they should have required.
If you've seen your almonds a bit smaller, this may be why.
That did impact our crop in the size of the nuts and even in the quantity of the nuts, because we see some nuts that when you open them up, the nut is shriveled up.
Many techniques are being done to overcome the issue.
So they're trying every trick in the book, so to speak, to try and make sure and sustain the amount of almonds that they can.
Del Bosque Farms is using high technology in order to not waste any water.
We put in drip irrigation to be efficient with our water. We use high-tech soil moisture sensors and the highest technology available on determining the water needs for our almonds.
So it's an art and a science to try and do all these things to sustain the crop and to maintain growing the nut crops.
Del Bosque farms have two major crops, almonds and melons. Del Bosque says that to manage their water supply, they share water for their crops. I'm Ana Cruz Lopez, Fresno State Focus.
Del Bosque says with no assurance for next year, they are prepared to possibly take out some of their almond trees. The uncertainty is scary for whether there will be any water for farmers and their crops.
The importance of food is present everywhere you go around the world, but what's different is the amount of food people eat varies from country to country. I show you how portion sizes in the United States have changed through the years.
Fresno State student Logan Ojeda usually eats on the run.
I'm not really home that often. I'm either like hanging out with friends, going to work, or I'm at school, so I don't really have much time to really cook something at home. So I do tend to eat out a lot, I would say.
Although we all eat, we commonly do not follow the healthy portion sizes recommended here in the United States.
We just sort of glamorize overeating. It's not really the best thing, but that's sort of the way it's panned out in the United States of America.
The glamorizations of overeating through commercials and fast food restaurants adds to the issues.
Serve them the red and the yellow. Those two colors stimulate people to eat more. So McDonald's, I think they have the red and yellow arches. So when they put that on, they know people are going to eat more, and then they make a bigger profit.
But what does a well-portioned meal look like?
So when you look at this, what do you see? So we're trying to teach people, when we look at this, that half of our plate should be with fruits and vegetables. So when we're trying to fill a plate, fill it with fruits and vegetables. And then over here, the proportionate of protein and the proportion of grain is kind of what we're going for.
But with everyone having different lifestyles filled with family, work, school, and assignments,
Bigger profit.
watching our portion sizes can be a hassle.
I feel like the American grind culture, if that makes sense, always have to be hustling, doing something, being productive, on a grind. There's no time to rest. There's no time to sleep. There's no time to eat a proper meal because you're always hustling on the move.
And that American grind culture will forever persist as long as we continue to push for success. Noah Chavez, Fresno State Focus.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that hefty portions in the United States account for some of the heftiest weights for Americans. Adults are 26 pounds heavier today than they were in the 1950s. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at how a Bay Area farmers market has roots right here in the Central Valley.
Plus, we take a look at how one farm-to-school program is teaching kids the importance of eating healthy foods.
Fog and clouds this week, your focus on weather when we come back.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
I'm Ana Cruz Lopez with your focus on weather. We have a cloudy weekday today in Fresno State. This is outside the Bulldog Stadium. You can see a bunch of clouds wrapped around the sky, and you can barely see any of the blue parts. For your nationwide satellite map, we have some rain activity happening up in the Great Lakes area and some snow activity up in the North Dakota, Minnesota area. For your regional satellite map, we do still have these cloud coverage coming our way, and tomorrow morning will be foggy, so if you're driving, be safe and turn on your headlights as well. For today's highs in Fresno, we're at 66, up in Stockton at 60, Shaver Lake at 57, so the majority of the valley will be in the 60s. For tonight in Fresno, we're at 44, Mariposa and Madera at 47, so it's pretty cool tonight. For your focus on air quality in Fresno, we're at moderate, as well as the majority of the counties like Merced, Kings, Madera, Tulare, the Sequoia National Forest is at healthy. For your extended outlook, we will have some clouds, but by the weekend that should be clearing up. On Sunday, we're at 68. On Monday, we're above average at 69. And for your lows, we're at 50s and high 40s. I'm Ana Cruz Lopez with your focus on weather.
Food for Thought is a company that brings the highest quality fresh produce to students to help them eat better and learn better. Kevin Hernandez tells us more.
Throughout California, most fruit is bought through normal means like stands and supermarkets. Well, what if I told you about a produce delivery service that sells and delivers fruits and vegetables fresh from the fields? Food for Thought LLC is a program that partners with around 20 small and mid-sized family farms that struggle to move their products on their own. This program has made deliveries to places like Sacramento and even as far as Palm Springs.
Everything we do is completely 100% seasonally based. So if it's not in season, we don't have it. I don't do apples and oranges in the summer because we're doing stone fruit. It has to be in season. The only thing for schools that we do that's not freshly picked are apples. We store them for the spring, but as soon as apricots and blueberries start, we stop apples.
As a farm-to-student program, Food for Thought has hosted over 1,200 farmers markets on elementary school campuses. Consisting of a full nutrition education workshop, this program has hosted events from Sacramento all the way to San Diego. Using their own packing line, the fruit that they deliver is carefully graded and 100% fresh. And what isn't delivered is donated to local food banks, topping off at nearly 900,000 pounds donated as of right now.
I would tell people, go to local farmers markets. Don't buy it at the store. You're buying at the store, it could be 17 days or a year old. It takes that long to make it to the store shelves. Well, what we're doing is we're packing it right out of the field. So my school districts, whether it's Sac City or Chula Vista ESD or Kings Canyon Unified or Coalinga or Lodi or Campbell Unified or Berkeley, they know they're getting something fresh out of the field. That is a big key.
This service has most of their fruit brought directly to their warehouse by farmers, with the farthest farm as far north as Stockton and as far south as Exeter. This program makes eating healthy and learning about nutrition as easy as possible. Kevin Hernandez, Fresno State Focus.
Studies show that students who eat more fruits and vegetables and get regular physical activity often perform better in the classroom. To learn more, just search Food for Thought LLC on Facebook.
We have more than 700 certified farmers markets in California. In San Francisco, the Center for Urban Education about Sustainable Agriculture is one example of a community organization providing for California residents. Lily Gonzalez has the story.
The Ferry Building in San Francisco has hosted farmers from all over California for the past 28 years. The Central Valley can be seen throughout the 100-plus vendor market. Bree Mazurek says these local gatherings were created by the community.
By a group of community members, farmers, chefs, activists, people who really cared about making this public space in front of the Ferry Building a communal space and one that could really be dedicated to bringing together people around good food, around supporting local farmers, supporting local makers.
Farmers Market provide a direct connection between growers and consumers. These transactions allow locals to meet and support their farmers.
You get to choose your vegetables, you get to choose how much you want. You don't have to take a full package if there are only 2 people. And it's a delightful social experience.
It's a community thing and the local economy, right?
If you're looking for something neat you can do with your family or friends, Farmers Market here at the Ferry Building in the Embarcadero is the place to be. 3 days a week, rain or shine, year-round. Farms from all over California. We're talking Reedley, Santa Cruz, Modesto, the East Bay, South Bay. They meet here and they provide these amazing organic and non-organic options, products for the community.
The Central Valley provides a variety of produce and allows you to enjoy diversity throughout California. In San Francisco, Lily Gonzalez, Fresno State Focus.
If you're heading to San Francisco, the Ferry Building Market is open year-round, rain or shine, along the Embarcadero where Market Street hits the San Francisco Bay. The MCJ Hall of Fame and Scholarship Celebration is tonight at the Residence Dining Hall.
Fresno State MCJ students are busy setting up for the big event.
Here's a live look as they transform the dining hall into a gala. The MCJ department is honoring 3 fellows and 3 Hall of Fame inductees. Noah and I will be there later today. Noah, what are you getting recognized for?
I was honored in receiving the Roger Tatarian grant, which I used the money to help pay for books and materials. What about you, Brooke?
I already used my scholarship money for tuition this year, but I got the Jim Zalian and Eli Seton Sitch scholarship.
I hope to see you there. One of the fellows being inducted into the Media, Communications, and Journalism Hall of Fame is Christine Pike.
Christine is an alumna of Fresno State and a former ABC 30 News anchor. Ruby Roque spoke with Christine this afternoon.
So how does it feel like to be honored in the MCJ Hall of Fame?
It's exciting, but it's very humbling because for me, I just think of, oh, there's so many other deserving people, you know, but it also points to the fact that yes, I can reflect back and say, okay, for 21 years I've been working in communications, first as a journalist and then now in school public relations. And to be able to serve my community in that way, it's been so gratifying and rewarding. And the fact that I got my master's here at Fresno State really gave me some of the tools that I needed to succeed in my career. And so I'm forever grateful to be a Bulldog.
So you went to school here at Fresno State and you got your master's. So what is the impact that that had on your career as a news anchor and now author?
I think coming here to Fresno State for my master's program really made me a better thinker, you know, to approach things thoughtfully. It also made me a better communicator because it made me really stop and listen to what my professors were saying, what my colleagues were saying. And I also think Fresno State helped me be a better future mentor to young people like yourself because I was able to teach while I was getting my master's. And really that was the highlight of my career here.
Okay. And so, you know, I mentioned you being an author. How is that different? What's the difference from going, you know, as an anchor to now an author?
I think whether you're writing a book or whether you're speaking on the news, bottom line, you're a communicator, but you're telling different types of stories. And by writing this book, it was really important to me to represent Asian Americans in children's literature. And so my dream was to have a book that my kids and my kids could have in their school libraries and for future generations.
Okay. So I'm here with Christine Pike now, and thank you so much for being here. I'm Ruby Roque for Fresno State Focus.
Christine actually came and spoke with us before the show today, and she is so inspiring and amazingly accomplished. I learned a lot from her, but my favorite part was learning about her children's book that she wrote about Asian Americans. So that really meant a lot to me. What about you, Noah?
I would have to say the part where she talked about how it's okay to fail. That's something that we always try to avoid having failure, but sometimes it's necessary to meet where we want to be in life.
Yeah.
Coming up after the break, we show you some of the most popular food trucks in and around Fresno.
And it's an eventful week for Fresno State athletics. We'll tell you more about the Bulldog win against New Mexico. All that and more right after the break.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
Hello, I'm Ruby Roque with your Focus on Sports. It's always good to win on Senior Day. The Fresno State football team played its final home game of the season in a foggy but filled Bulldog Stadium. The New Mexico Lobos couldn't stop running back Ronnie Rivers from becoming Fresno State's all-time leader in career rushing touchdowns.
What the bond between them is all tight. Now, the last thing I'll say about the seniors is there's 17 of them, and by the end of this semester, all 17 are going to have at least their undergraduate degree, and so that's pretty special. We have 31 guys right now already in grad classes on the team, so pretty great group, not just on the field but off the field as well.
The Bulldogs have a much-needed bye week before finishing their regular season against the San Jose Spartans on Thanksgiving. The volleyball team looks to finish off the regular season at home after close losses to Colorado State. Losing in all 3 sets to the Rams, the Dogs dropped their record to 11-13 on the season. Redshirt senior Savannah Smith led the Dogs in kills for the 4th time this season, and freshman Brooke Cowie led the team with 15 digs. The Bulldogs will host Air Force tomorrow at the Save Mart Center. The men's basketball team is now 3-0. Idaho kept the game close, but not close enough as the Dogs outlasted the Vandals with a score of 69-62. With this win, the Dogs are undefeated for the first time since their 2015-16 season. For their next matchup, the Dogs will head down south to play Pepperdine University. The women's basketball team got its first loss of the season. They're now 2-1. It came at the hands of the BYU Cougars with an end score of 80-64. Junior Hannah Cavender became the 27th player in Fresno State history to reach 1,000 career points, but still has a whole season to improve her total career points. The Dogs play Stanislaus State tonight at 6 for the first home game season. And that will do it for another week on sports. I'm Ruby Roque.
And if there's anything that the COVID pandemic has taught us, it's that our local businesses need community support more than ever. As Tony Salazar shows us, an organization called Fresno Street Eats is making sure everyone knows where to find the best food trucks in town.
Eating at a locally owned business is rewarding.
By coming here and supporting them, we're keeping them in business. I like supporting local businesses because it feels good to help out someone from the community.
Every week, Fresno Street Eats organizes food events like this for the community.
Trying to establish good quality food events where the food truck is actually the draw and not necessarily just part of the event.
They understand the importance of supporting locally owned businesses. That's why they've helped food trucks stay in business through these rough times.
Introduced up to 10 different food trucks since the COVID started. Plus we've kind of helped probably another 30 to 40 stay afloat.
One of those food trucks is Tacos de Sinaloa.
We started in 2009. We sell tacos, burritos, quesadillas, tortas, and right now we actually have these really famous tacos. They're called quesadilla tacos.
Salazar says that their family food truck is their livelihood.
Because this is what we depend on, Like when COVID hit and we didn't work or anything, it's a little bit hard. There's no business. We're local. We need business. We want to get everyone from Fresno or the Valley just to support local businesses.
For every $1 that is spent at a locally owned business, 70 cents of that $1 will stay here locally and help support local businesses. Like Tacos de Sinaloa and other food vendors who rely on Fresno Street Eats events.
Very, very grateful for them, yeah. Right now we're actually with them, and if it weren't for them, I don't know where we would be right now, Because, helps us so much.
A taco plate with a side of gratitude, that's priceless. In Fresno, Tony Salazar, Fresno State Focus.
Fresno Street Eats plans to continue organizing pop-up events to support food trucks and make sure everyone knows where to find them.
The food truck culture in California's San Joaquin Valley is a big deal. From your favorite Mexican tacos to sweet, warm cinnamon rolls, food trucks offer various food choices at almost every corner in the city. Ruby Roque takes us around Fresno to show us the most popular local food trucks.
Food trucks are very common to see all over Fresno, and they have something for everyone.
I think everybody's loving it because you got to think, you go to one restaurant, you have that one particular food item versus go to a property where there's 7 to 8 trucks, you can get everything for your family all in one shot instead of driving around town getting everybody individual items.
Many of these food trucks come together in events like these brought by Fresno Street Eats, which is a group in Fresno that organizes the events and locations the trucks will be in.
I partner up with them for majority of my week, and then I branch out and do private events as well. Cater to parties, weddings, schools, churches. Like this week we got coming up a barrel racing in Tulare, so quite a few events coming up.
Felton is making sure that wherever he goes, people like you and I enjoy his food.
This great business owner who has done a lot to be sure that the community enjoys his food and enjoys their time being here. And he went ahead and he made myself some barbecue boneless chicken, and I'm gonna see how it tastes. Let's see. Okay. If you guys were here and could smell it, I mean, it just tastes amazing.
There is always a variety of food for everyone. Many food trucks around Fresno serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is Ruby Roque for Fresno State Focus.
One of the newest food trucks in Fresno is serving food from the UK. It's called Union Jack's Pasty Shack and serves Cornish pasties and sausage rolls. Now, Brooke, I don't know about you, but we're getting something from the studio? Something special's going on in the studio?
I think so. I think it's time for a birthday shout out for our amazing professor, Kim Stevens. Happy birthday, Kim, from all of us here at Fresno State Focus.
Happy birthday, surprise. And my favorite memory was when I was working prompter last semester and you said, "Nice job on the prompter." I hope you have a good day.
Happy birthday, Kim. I'm so glad to call you my professor.
Anna, can you put the
One
prompter?
of my favorite things about you is your laugh
To goodbyes.
and your expressions. It always brings smiles to our faces.
Happy birthday, Kim. Want to share my favorite memory with you. It has to be when I did my first ever weather segment. We both ran to each other in the studio and celebrated silently because we were live.
So my favorite thing about Kim, besides this picture, is just how funny she is. She lights up whatever room she steps into, and I just wanted to say happy birthday and, thank you for being the great person that you are.
Happy birthday, Kim. I'm wishing you the best gluten-free birthday ever. Thank you for always bringing such a positive and bright personality to the classroom and the newsroom. I've learned so much from you the past 3 years, and I know because of you that I can do anything. Have the best day.
Feliz cumpleaños to my most animated professor ever, Kim Stevens. We love you and we appreciate you. Thank you for all of your time and all of your encouragement.
Hey Kim, I just want to wish you a very happy birthday. Thank you for making MCJ 128 a fun and rewarding class. Enjoy this special day of yours.
Thank you for joining us. We don't have a newscast next week. We'll be at home celebrating our Thanksgiving break.
But right before finals week, we'll have a Spanish newscast that we look forward to sharing with you on December 8th. We'll see you then.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.